5 affordable perfumes that smell incredibly expensive. Look, I know in today's economy, we're trying to save money. We don't have a ton of disposable income. We want to go ahead and purchase fragrances that smell like we're wearing a really high-end designer, luxury, or niche perfume. But at the same time, maybe we don't really want to spend beyond 20, 30, 40 bucks. Well, here we have a really nice variety of 5 perfumes. And I will be honest with you, one is more masculine leaning, one is totally unisex, and then I would say 3 of them are phenomenal for the ladies. But before I dive into the video, I do want to mention that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, and of course, if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would really, really mean a lot to me. So, of course, you can shop around online, check out Amazon and whatever other websites you might be interested in finding these at. If you have a website that you frequent or that you are a loyal shopper of, a lot of these can be found quite accessibly and quite readily. There's one brand here that I would recommend going on the official site for, and I'll let you know what it is in just a second. But these are 5 incredibly inexpensive perfumes that actually smell very expensive. So for example, I think a lot of people are familiar with Kilian Paris. So Kilian Paris makes some phenomenal fragrances. I love the brand so much. Everything from, Straight to Heaven Extreme, Angel Share Paradis, Old Fashioned. I mean, they just have some amazing fragrances. Even Black Phantom has really become a favorite of mine. I have the limited edition version that I had not opened for such a long time, and then I eventually bit the bullet. But of course, Rihanna's signature scent is called Love Don't Be Shy. And the perfume that smells very close to it by Okja is called Sweet Addict. So if you like that feminine yet playful and flirtatious vibe that is established through that DNA with the orange blossom, the vanilla, and the marshmallow, Sweet Addict by Okja is phenomenally well done. I really, really love this perfume. And this is extrait de parfum concentration. So we're talking about 30% concentration of oil. It is incredibly long lasting. I own about 2 or 3 dozen Okja fragrances. I've acquired a lot over the course of the past few months. And the one thing that I can tell you is that this one will give you in the vein of 10 hours longevity. This is phenomenal for the fall and winter. However, in spring and summer, if you want to wear it at an evening, during the evening, I should say, in maybe like a playful situation, this is so good for that. I really do love Sweet Addict, and it's such an affordable alternative to Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy. Now, if you like the sweet perfumes, let's keep that sweet train rolling. And of course, the next one that we're talking about is Bianco Latte by Giardini di Toscana. It's this milky vanilla and caramel perfume. I think the biggest point of contention with regard to that one is a lot of people complain about the longevity or lack thereof. A lot of people say that it doesn't last very long and they wish that it did last a little bit longer. And it's become such a viral perfume, especially on platforms like TikTok. A lot of people are talking about it. I picked up a bottle from Oswald. Look, I love my bottle. I'm not going to say it's the longest lasting fragrance because honest to God, it's not, right? I do get in the vein of like 7 hours longevity, and that's on a good day. Of course, it's all going to be contingent upon your pH and your skin chemistry. Do you have oily skin, dry skin, acidic pH, alkaline pH? You got to factor all of that in. However, there is a perfume that in my opinion does so well as serving as an alternative to Bianco Latte, and by Lattafa, it's called Eclair. There are so many, and I love this one. There are so many beautiful perfumes that come really, really close to the Bianco Latte DNA. Of course, you have That Girl Viral Vanilla by Okja. You have Cream Velvet by Kadlaj. And I have maybe like half a dozen other alternatives to it. Aroma Concepts has one. This brand called Luniche has one. But Lattafa Eclair, look, if you want the most beautiful presentation for the most affordable price, because at the end of the day, that's what this video is about. Lattafa Eclair, even the name, it's so beautiful, it's so artistic. I totally recommend that. Now, look, that's perfectly unisex for the gentleman. And Truth be told, this next one is unisex as well, but this is a recommendation that I would make more comfortably for the gentleman. If you want a perfume that smells like Hachavat by Nishane, which is this gorgeous smoky pineapple fragrance, there's a lot of birch tar in there. So it's quite smoky, it's mysterious. It's the type of perfume where if a gentleman is wearing it, you're gonna ask yourself how much money he has in his bank account, because he definitely gives off boss vibes. And Hachavat is amazing. The only drawback, and it's a significant drawback, is that it's worth hundreds of dollars. Instead of getting that, by Luniche, you can get Farah. Farah is phenomenal. This is a one-to-one match of Hachavat. And I own 2 bottles of Hachavat. I have met the perfumer Jorge Lee. I am quite familiar with the DNA. I know what goes into it. And when I tell you, as soon as I smelled this, I said, this is amazing. Now, here's the thing. I know the brand is available on a few different platforms, maybe Joma Shop. You can look around, but I know on some of the platforms that I've seen this on, they do run discounts and promotions from time to time. Farah is an amazing alternative to Hachavat by Nishane. And like I said, I love Hachavat. I have acquired 2 bottles over the past few years. It is a phenomenal fragrance, that smoky pineapple, that bright citrusy opening, but that masculine component that is made possible through the use of the birch tar, and that smokiness is really phenomenal. Now, the next one I want to talk about, and I know this one gets a lot of hate, and of course I'm talking about the original, but in my honest opinion, it is a masterpiece. I mean, it is absolutely a masterpiece, and I think it deserves the praise that it's received since the early 90s. And of course, I'm talking about none other than the very first gourmand that was ever manufactured by Olivier Cresp for the brand Thierry Mugler, and it's called Angel. And if you own Angel, you know how beautiful it is. But, you know, I understand there's a lot of women who have an aversion to gourmand perfumes or sickly sweet fragrances. And yeah, it does definitely give off this sweet ethyl maltol caramel patchouli thing. And, you know, patchouli is also another love it or hate it ingredient. Instead of getting Angel by Thierry Mugler, you can get Forever Young by Okja. Now, this is a no-brainer. As soon as I smelled it, it is 100% Angel, and I would guess that this is not a difficult formula to mimic, especially considering the fact that unfortunately the brand has reformulated Angel a number of times since its initial release in the early 90s. And so a lot of the ingredients that are being utilized are kind of mass marketed, for lack of a better phrase, but also accessible to a wide variety of different perfume manufacturers. Okja did a phenomenal job of reverse engineering Angel by Thierry Mugler, and you can get Forever Young in its place. But look, this is one that I would recommend for the younger lady out there, especially if you're looking for something that is more on the playful side of things. This is so sexy. Honestly, anybody can wear it. I think this is a phenomenal, phenomenal fragrance. You have that berry ingredient. I think it's either strawberry or raspberry. I want to say strawberry, but it's also a bit floral, a hint of vanilla, clean musk. And this is the brand's take on Burberry Her Elixir. I own the original Burberry Her, composed by Francis Kirkjohn, which is kind of like the designer take of Baccarat Rouge 540. And then I also own the Elixir version, and that one is a bit sweeter. I think that one was composed by Jerome de Marino, who once worked at Takasago. I think now he's with Man, which is a different perfume manufacturer, but by Lattafa. And this one is amazing. This one is called Rave Now for women. When I tell you I purchased this fragrance for under $30, and this is the 100 ml. So you're talking about the big size, beautiful presentation, under $30. And even if the price fluctuates, let's say hypothetically it goes up to 34 or 35, it's still worth it. This is a phenomenal fragrance. I can't recommend it enough. And all of these are highly inexpensive options to more expensive fragrances. And of course, a lot of these were for the ladies, but you know, at the end of the day, perfumes and fragrances are unisex. It's all going to be contingent upon your personal taste. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me today. That was my take on 5 affordable fragrances that in my opinion smell incredibly expensive. And the reason why is because most of them are modeled after really expensive fragrances. So if you took anything of value from today's episode, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and giving this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would really mean the world to me. So thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.